Here's a look at the gleaming new Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Chicago Bears and the Atlanta Falcons. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney! Hot!
A first carry for Amir Abdullah. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that's incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Back to throw here. He goes underneath the Drake. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
So when you saw him dump it off to the back, did you think he was going to pick up the first down there?
Well, I knew one thing. It wasn't his primary target. At least it didn't look like it. Turned out to be the play they needed, though. And it's big because it's the opening drive. So converting that 3rd down, keeping the play, not the play, the drive going.
Yeah, it certainly appeared like his downfield targets were covered. He threw the little dump off to his back, and nice effort picking up the first down, though. And you're right. That opening drive, keep those chains moving.
To throw now on 2nd and 10. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and short. Ito Smith, his first carry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bears will take over at their own 20. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
How about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, start off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
second down. It's Drake, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On first down, Abdullah. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with third down and just a yard to go.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run here. Abdullah. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They go back to Abdullah on first. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Kevin King coming up from the secondary to make the play.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Lucky 56. Here we go now.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Looking deep for Gabriel. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. They'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28.
Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back to the ground now. Here's Abdullah. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
The second down run for Abdullah. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let them down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff them for a loss. The Bears on third down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is third down and 12.
Detroit!
They'll look to throw. Oh, he's going backwards. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Atlanta now coming out on the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
He completes it to Julio Jones. Julio Jones all alone. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, his first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons have taken the early lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Dances by him. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and they're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
That one brought in by his tight end, Adam Shaheen. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain of 32 that time. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's this offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Out left to Shaheen. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. A gain of 6 there on first.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and it passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Back to throw again. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
Now a give. This is Abdullah. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Now back to throw. The 3rd down battle won by Atlanta's defense. Solid coverage.
A pretty rocky start in this game for the guy throwing the ball. Already has thrown 1 interception. Almost threw a second one right there. All he's doing right now is giving the defense a whole lot of confidence.
And Parkey's kick is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
That'll be taken in the end zone. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down. So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not there for him.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
He'll drop to throw. Looking downfield. That's caught at the 25. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. He got 29 yards that time. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 24. He'll look to throw. His throw incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Drake will start the drive on the ground. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
Now on 1st down, Drake again. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
Now a handout for Drake. And he's got the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
They pitch to Abdullah. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Counter play, Drake. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll set up to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Falcons say they have it. They do.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. 2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards, and it'll be 2nd and very short. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Flex round! Flex round!
He'll look to throw. And he's not able to get away, sacked back at the 22. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So chalk that down as an 8-play drive, capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
That's fielded in the end zone. And now running right through it. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
30 seconds remain in this first half as they come up here 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He'll air this one toward Coleman. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Back to throw. Flushed out right. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. The Bears on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. They'll set up a throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by DeMonte Casey. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. They're going to run this with a tight end. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Here's a give to Smith. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another 1st down with that run.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And they get 14 yards there at a first down. They go back to the ground now with Smith. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They're going to look to throw. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And I think the Bears have recovered. They have. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
They start the drive with a duel. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Being chased out left. Now he's going to let it go. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line.
Well, when he feels the pressure, naturally he likes going to his left, as most left-handed quarterbacks do. But this time he tries to let this go on the run, and it's going to wind up getting intercepted.
Flex round!
They'll come out throwing here on first down. This complete to Jones. Finding room inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 15. A big-time play there for the Falcons. And even 40 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
A gain of 3, second down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line. Eddie Goldman able to get in there and drop him for a 2-yard loss. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Back to throw here. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down. And his kick is good. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6. So he splits the uprights and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass, and finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass, and that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Now they'll throw here, out of the gun. He goes underneath to Drake. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a third down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Escaping the pressure right. Looking deep, and that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 29. A big play there for the Bears on third. 41 yards. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to bring this one down to right about the 20-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs, and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
No, check. Patriot!
They run with Avila. And he'll find his way down right around the 12. Foyesade Aluakan made the tackle there from his safety position.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Trying to get the run game going. Here's Smith. And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
They'll drop the throw. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. The Bears on third down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Lucky 56. Gone. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone.
They'll look to throw. Able to find Shaheen, the tight end. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A very solid gain of 27. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Oh, no, he lost the football. But the Bears look to get this one back, and indeed they did. So they'll keep possession. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out, and a 5-yard penalty. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Detroit! Gone!
They'll look to throw here. He dumps it off to Drake. And he gets it down to the 32. 7 yards on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
The Bears on 3rd down. Now, they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. This will be 3rd and 6. He finds Coleman. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
Detroit!
On 1st and goal, Drake. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. On play action, they'll throw. He'll buy some time right. This will be caught inside the 10. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A gain of 9 there. Sets up 2nd and goal.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
He'll get it up the middle, and he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Now back to throw. Buying time to his left. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to hold him to 3 there, and that leads to a 4th and goal. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Parkey's kick is good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. Atlanta now coming out on the field. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. And remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is put a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
On 2nd down, here's Smith. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
A first down carry for Smith. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. He'll drop to throw. Caught by Jones. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, a 22. He's been the go-to guy, and they needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way, it worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And now the Bears going to signal for another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll try and run forward with Smith. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. Again, it's Smith. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. The tackle made by Derek Rivers.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
A handoff to Smith. They'll get to him just inside the 15-yard line. And even after that fancy footwork we saw, a good job defensively to recover.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. The pitch goes to Smith. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Falcons, that early momentum continues here as they move to 4-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for Chicago,